to debate, so as much as possible, don't let the person questions, and when they're answering, please be quiet.
Hello, I'm Srikrishnan from REDDY, and I have a question for PRAKASH. So, as you know, the lips and amber are used very frequently by most of the residents. A few days ago, there was a message inside the doors of amber lips saying vote for truth, vote for PRAKASH. Okay, and this was found in the washrooms as well. And this is a clear example of vandalism since it is written in permanent ink. With this, it clearly goes against the clean campaign. So I want, so can you tell me, see, even I am not accusing you of taking part in this, but there is a possibility that someone might use your name. I want to know whether you agree that this is your responsibility to make sure something like this doesn't happen, and if you could tell me what measures you take to curtail these. Yeah.
Can you please repeat your question?
He was asking about the rating that is there in the list with the permanent link that vote for truth, vote for SAI. Did you take any measurements for that? Or is that done by your friends or by you?
It's not done.
He don't ask if it was done by you or your friends. He asked if it was done by your supporters, yourself, or someone else already know about this before, or are you taking measures to coordinate?
Yeah. I know. I didn't know that this has happened. After going to live, I got to see this, and after seeing all these things, I actually strictly instructed all my followers or whoever it is, supporters.
Refuted the idea of digitalization and how digital signatures don't seem to work. But my experience with recommendations very much tells me that every professor has a digitalizing because I have been able to attend digitalizing as well. So why are you against digitalization which will save us so much effort? You know, my professor gave me a digitalizing method so that I don't have to print it out and scan it. Okay, professors are already doing it. Like, why can't we have the same for the transcripts and other documents?
Yeah, the same thing I actually spoke to Dr. Shansan Medus, HOD of Civil Department, for the digitalization. Like he is also a professor, right? I spoke to him for this thing and like online booking of halls. Sir, this kind of thing can happen. Or like from his point of view, he told like this kind of incidents. Most of the professors they won't agree for the digitalization of the signatures. He is one of the professors, right?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, when you are the president of the REDDY Trichy, you work along with the student council. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, like, when you are the president of the REDDY Trichy, you work along with the student council. The student council will be a big family. Okay? The president works along with a team of council members. The student council works together to achieve the same intention. So, both debates have been going from 130. So, both debates and speeches are going from 130. From 130. Yeah. And for the time, all the GS, all the people who are standing for the election, they're campaigning themselves, they're doing intensive and all. You know?
Can you please repeat? No, I'm not able to.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, when you are the president, you work along with the team of student council. The student council is a big family.
Yeah.
From 130 here,
SoapBox debates which are going on.
Yeah.
And you are not here. You are not even listening to your new council members, future and all. And in the next year, how will you cope up with that? Because you've told a lot about accountability. And when you are not even here to listen to their views, to their ideas, how will you go along with them for the next year? And since you are studying for the prestigious post of president, do you think your behavior justifies your studying for the constitution? You are not here from the morning.
I understand. That's actually, what I want to tell is, I have already informed the concerned authorities, whoever it is organizing, what my problem is, then why I couldn't attend this session. You can actually verify with them. And also you're talking about the manifesto and views which other people has. I'll definitely go through. All these sessions are what? Video sessions. I'll definitely go through. And I also mentioned in my speech, and even if I become president, I'll definitely do consider every student's manifesto over here.
Just to clear up on that point, he did inform it, but it was an unavoidable reason. Before you go for the next question, please make your question concise and short and be very clear. And please not keep on extending. We have a lot of questions to take, and the panelists also will go for asking questions. So please make it.
Hello, I'm Amit. First year, PRAKASH. My question is regarding sports.
Come forward.
I'm Amit, second year production. My question is about sports. Both of you can answer. For the past 1.5 years, we've been trying to get the rights for the NSO ground. Me being part of the athletics team, after class 3, we have 2 hours for practice, 5 to 7. So once the sun sets, we don't have enough time to practice, so we will not be able to do well in tournaments in the recent past. Now people have been talking about implementation and stuff, but then they haven't talked as to how to implement it. Now when it comes to the highways, right outside the college, they've been able to put up lights for the whole flyover in one day. So if we actually want to do it, easily do it for our college, so how do you guys plan on doing it? You could just tell me how you're going to implement it.
I already spoke to Speedy regarding these floodlights inside. Hello. I already spoke to PD for the installing of these floodlights, and he was like, the process is actually going. The tender has been put up for this cricket ground tender. The tender has been put up, and then they just need some support from this admin. In your institute development and all, they are doing their level best to try to sort it out. But then he just told within like 6 months it will get sorted out. What?
There's a correction. The tender has been put up and the tender has been passed also.
Yeah, exactly.
Taken up the tender haven't done it. So how do you guys gonna do?
Yeah, as from being part of basketball team, being from sports canteen, I know I face the same problem. The solution for this is, and we'll definitely try to, this is the basic problem which we face, right? So I'll definitely try to push.
The basketball team got floodlights.
Yeah, we got floodlights. People who don't get the floodlights are talking about.
So you were right that the tender has been put up and it has been passed, and so all what the council needs to do is to keep following up with the person who has been accepted as L1 in the tender. So L1 is the least. So L1 is the least bid. So the council needs to keep following up with the PD office and the company which has the least bid to start the process. Once the process has been started by the office of the PD, then things will move smoother.
Yeah, I would like to add one more point. I already spoke to PD about it. What he told was, currently, the new sports complex for inside that basketball court and all these things were, they were ready to install this year mostly. And currently this process is running, and as soon as this process gets over, they immediately focus on these floodlights. And we as a part of students council, if I get elected, I'll definitely try to push it up, and then I'll definitely get your problem sorted out.
Hi, this is Babu from 3rd Year Mechanical Department. My question is for DAKSH.
And while explaining about your manifesto, you said a point on deferred placements. The thing is, I know the companies who come for hiring us, they have per year only a certain questions so that they can hire. Okay, and it is whoever are going for startups or anything, it's their personal choice. Now already I am facing lot of competitions among my department students. How will I accommodate them also? They will also compete with me. It is like snatching my opportunities also. No. They have 1 year experience also, like experience with them, and how we are going to accommodate them with my placements, how we are going to accommodate with me.
Thank you for your question. I'll just explain what I had in mind after talking to the secrets about deferred placements. First and foremost, deferred placements as a concept is very essential for our campus because this gives the courage for people to start up. Now, how we can actually go about implementing this? What we can do is all the students in the current sixth semester, they need to register that do they wish to avail this facility or not. So suppose I want to start up. So I will say that yes, I want deferred placements, and since I want to start up, I will not be allowed to sit for placements in my 7th and 8th semester. And so there will be a section of students, say X number of students, who will not sit for placements because they are opting for deferred placements later on because they want to start up right now. This will, so suppose there are 900 students in our batch, and so one number X will not even sit for placements as they want deferred placements. So every year we will have a similar number of students who opt for deferred placements, and so this offset can be managed. So say X from our batch does not sit, so our seniors batch, say because it's limited from say next year, so X from our batch does not sit, so some number of this X will want to sit in the junior batch. But in the junior batch also, one section of students will not sit for placements. So this can be managed that way, one point. Second point is, it is in the hands of the DNP and the secrets to decide for which companies can the deferred placement guys sit for. No, they won't be allowed to sit for all the companies. All of us can sit for all the companies based on GPA or any of the criteria which the company sets. But it will be in the secret's discretion to allow for which companies can these deferred placement guys actually sit for. Third point is, our TNP actually, so there are a few companies which approach TNP for placements and our TNP refuses, saying that these companies are unstable, these startups are not very stable. Now, most people who will be opting for deferred placements will be ingrained in this culture of becoming entrepreneurs, and they will want to start up. So these people would not mind getting placed in startups which are not very stable because this gives them the perfect platform to learn. So deferred placements. So deferred placements can be worked out if we can work around these constraints, which are, I think, feasible after talking to the secrets.
I would just like to clarify a few things. So, first of all, the student council and the training placement cell are two different entities, and one does not influence the other. Okay. So, putting deferred placements in a manifesto is not a feasible idea because it's already been tried 2 years ago, and we found that a lot of companies that people want to join do not agree for deferred placement for our college, because our college follows a rolling placement system where placements start in July and they end till April, and even then a lot of people don't get placed in companies. On top of that, a lot of MTechs also disagree with the deferred placements because since they have very limited chance with the number of companies, they don't want people to come from outside and apply as well. So another reason why it's not possible. And I would like to say that I don't think it is a very good idea in an ecosystem where people are not getting placed finally at the end of the day, and on top of that, you want to add a load on the people who are working for placements to get these additional people placed as well. The college should not have the responsibility on top of the responsibility it has already. So I'd like you to work on a plan a bit more. I don't know if this is just a clarification. We'll
next question. I'm Sundar from third year. question is to PRAKASH. See, in your manifesto, you have two very conflicting points. You say that we should introduce a flexible curriculum. So that will involve you having the students having a choice as to when they want to take certain subjects, right? So that will imply that we need at least 3 times or at least 2 times the staff that the faculty that we already have. On the other hand, you want a temporary faculty review system. So that will mean that your temporary faculty is being filtered much faster. So how are you going to incorporate these two very conflicting points?
Temporary faculty review system, as I already mentioned, right? Like how the temporary faculty will be, how the temporary faculty is being, put up for the departments. It's in the. What is your first question?
I have just one question. I said that you have 2 points. One point being that you want to review the temporary faculty.
Yeah.
The other point being that you need to hire a lot more temporary faculty to involve your flexible.
I didn't mean hiring some other faculty. I just want to, like we'll be giving feedback, right? Monthly wise, we'll be taking feedbacks. And based on the feedback, HOD will be in charge of all this feedback. And through HOD, this information will be passed through the concerned authorities. And then, like the style of teaching, just change the style of teaching, and then through final feedback, changes in the faculty within the campus will be happening. And if possible also, we can actually try to get some other faculty.
Okay, if that's the case, then please elaborate on your plan on flexible curriculum. What do you mean by it and how do you involve it?
Flexible curriculum is not for us. It's for juniors, for minors, right? For minors, while choosing minors, they are like, for example, there are a set of minors. Say, for example, they choose computer science. What I meant for flexible curriculum is, they didn't provide efficient information about the course content. Like first semester, like from 3rd semester, they'll be having minors. 3rd semester, they're gonna do this. 4th semester, they're gonna do this. These things haven't been, informed for them. I told I'll definitely try to get more interactive sessions with those people who are undertaking all these minors, and then I'll try to implement all the course contents semester-wise. That's what I meant.
My question is to both of you. By the way, I'm Arun from the production department. So, can you guys tell us what is the current progress of the NIT app, which is not being implemented for the past 1 year? And this app scheme has been following for the past 2 years. So, can you both explain on that, and what is the plan which you have so that it gets formulated fast enough to implement before we pass out of the process? I have one more question also. You answer this and then.
So the idea of an NIT app was present in the manifestos of the previous council also. So I spoke to the council and they have already laid the groundwork. They have spoken to Spider and with Delta. And they have made a plan as to how the app can be made and how it can be completed faster. So our job will be to ensure that this happens. Now, if Delta or Spider are not able, and they say that it is beyond their capability to give such an app to us within 3-4 months, then we will look to outsource the app with some third-party company to whom we can pay an amount to make and to maintain the app. But our first priority will be to get the app built by our college clubs itself, so that maintenance becomes very easy. And if required, we are ready to pay the college clubs also, so that they can have more priorities and they can finish the work on the app soon. I personally also have spoken to Delta and to Spider, and both the clubs seem quite positive about making the app and finish the app within a few months.
Yeah, same thing. Even I spoke with the people of Spider and Delta. Like they are ready to make the app, but then as he told, the information whatever I have in my mind he told actually, and the same thing. Yeah, they are ready to make an app, and they'll definitely finish the app within 2 months.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Nilay and I'm a third English student. So this question is for Prakash. So sorry because I had an opportunity to look at the manifesto during the presentation, and one thing stood out. I will start by highlighting. So there's one point, if I'm not mistaken, I'll read verbatim. It says video lectures departmentalized to be made available. So basically, what I feel about this particular idea you have in mind is it depends on the kind of teacher who's handling a video. Now, so there are 3 concepts based on teacher. It fixes the movement of the teacher. So basically, it depends on how a teacher wants to conduct his or her own task. So if you want to have a video, so this is very practical. Okay, so there's a video going on, and it will hinder his ability to teach the class in whichever way he wants, which he feels is comfortable and which he feels that students will understand. And third point, it is very distracting in its own way. And more than that, there's already an existing efficient system, which is the NPTEL video lecture system, where some teachers I know for a fact go ahead and say to the students that so and so lecture and so and so topic is present. I request the students to please go ahead and use these lectures for their personal use for them, so that they can help them with their academics. So I want you to basically elaborate on what you meant by video lectures and department wise. I want you to read this.
Yeah, I'll explain to you. Like as you mentioned, right? The solution for you, the solution for you is, like before implementing this, we'll be going to every faculty. Like say for example, I said like if there are some 7 faculty members, out of those 4 or 5 people, if they agree to for what I have planned, what video lecture sessions, it doesn't matter with this. Like it's currently running in every IIT, it's currently running in every NIT. They took an initiative. Like for us, whatever initiative should be, whoever they agrees for the video lecture classroom sessions, we'll go with that professors. And also, what I want to mean is this thing. You told about all these hindrances between the classroom sessions, right? That thing, they took an initiative to provide all these facilities properly to people.
Yeah, could you repeat that point? I couldn't ask you.
In NITs and other IITs, where the current system is running of video lectures to be recorded in every classroom sessions, right? They took this initiative as like firstly they went to each and every prof, and then those profs who agreed for this, they took this initiative, and then later it got improvised. This is what I want to ask.
So sorry, you have a point. So you said hindrance is correct. Let's just mention that other NITs and other IITs is not a scale you should mention here, because how they go ahead with their system, and you have to consider the existing infrastructure, existing set of faculty here when you place your argument. So the hindrances we say is more, you have to suit your answer to this. So this is a very practical issue. I say that when teachers have to move, it will be a general distraction for the student. And you also mentioned in your speech saying that for people who are sleeping, say that video lectures will help them in the future. Alright, so this everything, in my opinion, is a distraction on its own. So I want you to answer that point again.
Yeah, what you told was correct. But then video lecture sessions, like why I mentioned video. I definitely think about your point. I have some. This is just an idea, okay? I definitely do initiate, and then if you have any problems, I definitely try to figure out through some discussions and definitely solve it out.
Hello, my name is Aseem. I am from second year ICE. My question is for PRAKASH. You mentioned about bringing down coaches for the sports team that exists in the campus, and then you told the PD told you that it's not possible to bring them down for every sports team that exists. But you told you look at the track record of the teams and then you will decide on which team to bring in for. So do you plan to bring the coaches for the teams that are on a good roll and make them at par with the national level, or do you plan to bring down coaches to the teams that are not up to the mark and you plan to improve them? In which teams do you target?
Yeah, based on the history of achievements, as I told, right, it's like we'll definitely try to bring coaches for every team, but if in case it's not possible, based on the history of achievements, if say for example basketball, for the past few tournaments the records will be maintained, and then if they need some other coach to push on, I'll definitely try to push the existing winning teams. I'll definitely do it. Other teams, they'll be given a chance. If they perform well, at least they'll reach finals or semis or quarters. We'll definitely try to push coaches for them also. But there is a solution for this also. Coaches are also based on cash, right? We have to pay them. For example, yeah, for you, I got your point. What your point is? Every sports are based on the history of achievement. What about the other sports, right? The other sports also based on this, based on the payment to the every coach. Based on that payment, even coaches will be, distributed to every sport. Based the history of winning teams will be given a highly paid coach, and this thing will be given a low paid coach. And based on again the history of winnings, we'll definitely provide the coaches accordingly.
I'm Vishwasai from second year ICE. See, I just wanted to add one more point. See, I wanted to ask one question. See, what actually coach is for to improve something, right? So already told, they are already achieved it before. And I'm telling them you will provide coaches for them. So you wanted to make them more and more, but what about the people who didn't win? Actually, they need the coach, right? So you just want to leave them.
That's what I mean. They need a coach. Further, I told just now, you heard the point, right? That based on the payment, the low paid coach, the current issue is budget for every coaches. They will be given some assistance from admin point of view. Based on that assistance, if they improvise in the current coming semesters or any other sports which they are going to, based on that, they will be given much more importance and much more good coaches to them. That's what I mean.
Question, sir. Okay, they have raised a question. Sports team for sports coach for all the teams. This promise is given by both persons.
Pardon?
Okay, my name is PRAKASH. I am from Metallurgy department, third year. Okay, both the persons promised question. Why are they insisting only PRAKASH to answer the question? Why not Daksh answer it? Daksh is not asking the question. Okay, why are they not insisting the same question to the person? Because he has also promised the same the team. And also Mr. Bami, the present council president, also has promised the same thing. That he will be providing coaches for all the sports teams. He is in the absolute right. So why are they insisting the same?
Is this a question to me, or is this a general statement, or is it a question to me? Yeah, I agree. So ask me the question, I'll answer it.
One second. See, how we are sourcing the questions from the audiences, you get up and you ask the person who you want to ask the question to. So now people have gotten up and asked questions to PRAKASH. In case you wanted to direct the same question to DAKSH, then you can do so.
I'm from third year. So regarding a point you mentioned in your manifesto about plantation. So presently DEEP has also worked on the same initiative in terms of the roads many trees have been planted. But because of some unavoidable reasons like animals can like high temperatures and improper maintenance, the initiative is not taking not getting that right out. So how would you suggest that your idea is gonna counteract or gonna solve those problems apart from planting trees?
Hi Krishna, thanks for the question. Okay, I'll tell you a small incident. So when I was RA chairman, as a part of RA social responsibility, we had planted around 100 or 120 saplings. Okay, so a lot of us, like we, even RA, so many of us planted trees or planted saplings. What happens is they're not maintained well. You can't expect students to go and water the saplings every single day. So, and also what happens is the cattle, they come and graze and they come and eat the plants and all that. So to counter these two issues, first thing is we need to decide which kind of plants we need to plant. So the pungai plant and then the forest flame, that plant and the neem tree, these three saplings require very less maintenance and they become self-sufficient very quickly, and also the cows don't eat them. So one thing we need to do is we need to first fix upon which kind of saplings we plant. Second is admin support in this is very essential. So 5 years back, our entrance and our Central Avenue road, it wasn't as green as it is right now. So the DAKSH director took an initiative, and the entire road was designed properly, and then it was made green and it was maintained. So we need to pick up projects like this. So we need to pick up parts of the campus, and they need to be designed properly for maintaining greenery there. And then, if students are planting, they need to approach the admin so that the admin can maintain these saplings and can maintain and can provide water supply so that these can be watered properly. Also, we need to have fences, like the road from Amber Hostel to the Megas 2. It's a long road and it's not fenced. So if you plant something there, the cows and the goats, they come and they chew it off. So that if it's fenced, then that can be taken care of pretty well. And also greenery cannot be achieved overnight. It is not for our batch, which I am talking about. It is 5 to 6 years down the line to make the entire campus cooler as a whole. We need to start off this. We need to just set the ball rolling basically.
I am checking from the ABC. This is not a question reading of people. It's just a small statement or a suggestion. There is a topic called temporary faculty. It's a very big issue, not a small issue. Now, sections are being divided from every department, and they are simply giving the faculty whoever is available to take for very important subjects even. So, even in IIT Madras and IIT Bombay, don't necessarily say this is IIT. Fourth year students are given opportunities to take the whole course for the students of second years and third years to take up. So this is just a suggestion which you can work on so that students do not suffer more on the course.
Yeah, I'll definitely do work on it. As I mentioned in my manifesto, that will be my first preference for my academic reform. I'll definitely do work on it.
Also, the current state in charge for the MIS feedback is S.T. Ramesh sir. So with him we can work and we can make sure that the MIS feedback is given right now is taken into consideration to allot faculty for the next semester at least. And yes, very rightly mentioned, IITM, IITD, IITB, they have something called TAs, which are nothing but teaching assistants, which are third year or fourth year students, which help the faculty to teach the class and even to correct papers and all of that. So that if you can implement in our college, because our juniors will be able to relate to us much easily than they can relate to the other temporary faculty. So thank you very much for your insight, and we'll definitely take it into consideration.
Hi, my name is Narayan. I'm from third year degree. My question is to DAKSH.
In your manifesto, you have stated a point regarding the land collections in all hostels. Considering that we have around 27 hostels in campus, could you please explain how you want to go about that point, please?
Okay, land connections in all hostels. We have 26 or 27 hostels in our campus. It is very easy to get the land input in the main Wi-Fi inlet, and then from the main Wi-Fi inlet we can give one land wire to each common room, where we can have one distributor through which we can attach 5 or 10 LAN cables, and since we have 5 to 10 LAN cables in each common room, students can come and they can plug in their laptops and they can start using. Yeah, so this is how we can provide LAN connections to all hostels.
Hello, this is Harikishore, finally so I want to ask one question to the current council. Is there any restriction that we should not reduce the budget allocations? Anything like that? Or else you have to make it simpler? For the clubs and
Yes, it is on social media, but we reach it even after
it is not like a secret.
No. It's available. Not online, on Facebook, we didn't release it, right?
Okay.
But I think for during RA theories, many of our users have been watched the very
Thank you. So, as you said in the manifesto, that we make it transparency and enough of budget allocations. What is the point of that? Manifesto, right? PRAKASH, sorry.
Yeah.
So, in your manifesto, like most of the videos were released 2-3 days back.
There's no transparency. I didn't mention it. I'm so
You were mentioning it that poster. Yeah, yes sir.
Yeah, I mentioned, but then I got to know about the problems and then I got it removed and then I didn't explain over it.
Okay, no problem. But what about the people who didn't come here and who didn't watch the SoapBox? Okay, you removed that from this presentation. I agree that. So what about the people who didn't come here and not watching your SoapBox presentation?
They do watch this live program, right? I conveyed through the program, like now I'm telling. Yeah, you're telling about those who watched those things and then who didn't watch about these things. I'll definitely try. I don't have solution for that. I'll definitely try to pass this my current manifesto to each and every student inside the campus, and I definitely get to know that everyone knows about my current manifesto.
Okay, so one more question.
Thank you.
I was saying category, apart from the budget which Hari was talking about, Hari was talking about the SLP budget allocation, for which I will say we pay 800 per semester in institute fee. So that is basically 1600 per year, 1600 into approximately 6000 students, that is 96 lakhs. This time we got 95.5 lakhs. Out of which 26 goes to Festival and Pragyan, 12 goes to Midfest. So that makes 52, 64. So apart from that, 25 goes to clubs. So we have allocated each club some budget. And apart from that, some is kept, some money is kept as reserve, from which we will be conducting art mela and other box presenters. Apart from that, this year we took out Nostalgia, Avik and Piya in the festivals. Initially it was only December, Pragyan and Midfest. We took Avik, Piya and Nostalgia in the festivals so that we don't need to alter the budget each time, because we saw that there was very little transparency in the bills submitted. So this is only for the cultural fee allocation. Apart from this, council will be handling other budgets as well. So try to be as transparent as you can. And transparency may not always be on Facebook, but if somebody approaches you, you should have a clear record stating that okay, this much was given here, this much was up for me.
The crowdsourced questions can be, we will come to the crowdsourced questions like at 10, so you guys can. This is our very
So my question is to PRAKASH. You had a point in your manifesto stating fully furnished common rooms.
Fully furnished?
Yeah, fully furnished common rooms. So I exactly want to know what this fully furnished facilities are going to be. And this comes in as an important factor, especially in event services, when you have 10 plus symposiums happening as well as PRAKASH and other tests happening. So those times we need to accommodate the guests coming in from outside. So what's the plan for that?
Yeah, exactly. I got your point. When discussing about it, there are like say, take for example Amber. We have 3 common rooms, right? Like you're telling, hospitality for people who are coming for symposiums. Yeah, at that time, like hostel representatives and all, as I mentioned in my manifesto, will make that that process as strict. And then when they are trying to accommodate any of these common rooms, all this gaming equipment, we have to sacrifice something. We have to, we'll make this thing. I told there is one more room called this for TVs and other playing like table tennis. All these things will be provided in one room. That room, all these things will be vacated, and then this will be provided. This room will be provided to the consent people who are accommodating common rooms. And this thing should be taken care of with the representatives of the hospitality team. With hostel representative, all these team members should actually, they both need to talk together, like they both need to have a contact saying that before, after, as soon as they use this common room, they need to accommodate it in the ways before how it was, so that we can't sacrifice our reading room. Reading room should be there. At least we need to sacrifice something, so we better to go through the other option.
Okay. I have 2 questions for PRAKASH. One is regarding recreation facilities as billiard tables in sports center. In case you are unaware, billiard tables are upwards of 1 lakh in cost, and this is exclusive of the entire set, including the queue and all that. If you are going to say that you just introduce 1 or 2 billiard tables in the sports center, then you imply that maximum of 8 people get it, use it at a time, which is kind of pointless. And which means that since this is a recreation facility, there is going to be a lot of demand, but you are going to be only able to cater to a small amount at the same time. So what are you going to do about this?
I totally agree with your point. I totally agree with your point. Can you tell me your hostel strength? Which hostel are you from?
Ambergris.
Yeah. What is your hostel strength approximately? Even it is a lot of demand, right? How many table tennis courts are tables are available in your hostel? Only 1. Same thing in the...
Yeah, but that is for 1 hostel. You are talking about the whole college in 1 sports center.
Yeah.
So if you are saying that, okay, so again, only 2 billion table for 80 to 60 people, that is for catering to around 4,000 to 5,000 students.
Even carrom boards, there are only 2 carrom boards which will be open in the sports complex, and it is actually, all the students are using, all the students are using, right? And in the same way we can do implement.
Again, no, I'm not trying to refute your point or anything, but again, carrom boards is something that students can always have in their rooms as well, and I know some people who do. But billiard tables cannot be present in a hall because again, its cost is very, very high compared to anything else.
Actually, the thing, it is running very smoothly over there in other NITs where this thing has adopted. And then I definitely do try, at least the solution for this, what I think is, there will be sessions, okay. You can use, for example, we can't provide, as you told, we can't provide more number of boards. We can't provide more number of boards. With the limited number of boards, so that we can provide based on the this thing, sectional wise. Sectional wise in the sense, say for example, one section of people, they'll use this board at one time, and then other section of people, they'll use this. This sectional basis, how they divide on this basis, for example, this thing, basketball, while before sports meet, we'll be having practice sessions, For these practice sessions, we will be giving our code to for every department. This time should be allotted. This time should be allotted. Only solution what I can tell you for your point is only this. But other than that, once we try to implement something, we get to know about the problems. I didn't implement it. This is just my idea. Once after I implement, I definitely think about it. And definitely after major immediate decision cannot be taken. After a group discussion, we'll definitely try to solve the problem.
One more question. You also said that you will be starting printing facilities and vending machines within hostels. How are you planning on maintaining these? Because these require resources like
you're telling like some other people will what is your question?
Food vending machines. You said that these will be.
Who will take care of those? There is one security guard for every hostel, right? One food vending machine he can't.
Okay. You said food vending machines for every hostel. You said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are around 26 hostels.
Yeah.
And a food vending machine again costs around 1.5 lakhs. So one question is that. Second thing, how again are you going to maintain? Because there is one, you have to refill it with food and
there will be 1%.
And thanks for some development. Actually, I want you both of you didn't mention the value problems in our hostels.
Pardon?
You didn't mention value problems in our hostels. Value problems. I don't know. Actually, I get this problem now because I complained to office center meet I went to 5 times there and they didn't respond well. And my question is to you, you mentioned that you landings will be made available for common members. My question is, first we have to make sure that all the students should be made functional perfectly. All libraries should be made functional perfectly.
Wi-Fi routers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the main problem we are facing. First we have to overcome that problem and then we have to go to the land connections.
Yeah, the major problems which we are facing as far as we know is Wi-Fi and water, right? For this Wi-Fi, I actually spoke to Dr. Ramkalyan sir and what they are trying to implement for this is, they are trying to add extra access points in every hostel. Like actually why are we not getting this Wi-Fi to every guy is, because there is, a guy can use with your ID proof, with your roll number and ID, you can use either in laptop or either in mobile phone, which is not happening currently. That is why we have major Wi-Fi issues. And then the process is currently running. They are trying to implement 150 more access points, which are currently 550 in number. And they are trying to increase, and I think it will. He told it will be implementable within now.
Actually, I raised this question because we have 24/7 optimism, but we don't have 24/7 libraries. See, in your exam, so many CSE students, they are using personal software in their laptops. They can't go with their laptops to the optimism. They can go to a library, but it's not 24/7. How will you try to open this?
Okay, coming to the first question about Wi-Fi. As PRAKASH said, yes, the Wi-Fi issue was taken up by the current council very seriously, and so they found out that the college requires around 200 more routers which need to be put up in the campus. So that is already being done. They've already procured around 65 routers, and they're going to procure the rest pretty soon. So once that is done, all of us would enjoy good Wi-Fi. Second thing is they are taking the MAC IDs of all the devices. Once that is done, one person will be able to use Wi-Fi on one device at one time. So if I am using Wi-Fi on my phone, I can't connect my laptop to it at the same time. So one device per person at one time. Once that was implemented, all of us will be able to have very good strong Wi-Fi. And this has been already done by the current council. That is why we didn't address it. Both of us didn't address it in our analysis because the current council has already taken steps for that. Coming to hostel, you said that Wi-Fi is itself, all the routers are itself not working, then why LAN connections? So that is precisely because all the routers themselves are not working. If you and I need to do a project or something important with internet, and if the Wi-Fi isn't working, the easiest and the best way is a LAN connection. That is why if you can provide a few land codes in the common rooms, it will help us work much easier. Then about the library timings. Yes, Okta is open 24/7, and we are also trying to get the library timings extended. One issue, once I spoke to the admin and to the students, what I heard is, if like girls cannot access the library post 9 PM, but guys can. So, but if the library timings are extended, guys will be able to do that, and that would give an unfair advantage to the guys. That is why we discussed and we got a solution of having student activity zones included in the library, where we can at least have library till 11 PM for the guys and girls. And after that, we can work towards making it longer. For now, from 9 PM to 11 PM, already I think during the exams and the tests, during the exams, especially last year also, we had library timings extended. So from next year, we can definitely try working towards extending the timings throughout the year. I think all these 3 points are which you raised. Thank you.
I'm Kaushik from second year production. I have a question for the current student council, only both the candidates. So, why is CDPA required to be for the current student council? And for the candidates, do you think it's necessary to ask the criteria?
And for the candidates, what was the question?
What is your point on why is CDPA required necessary to be for the current student? First, let the council answer the
When we post this to the admin this time, we asked them, why the 7.5 CGPA? So the admin's reply to this is, if a student cannot maintain his academics well, how can we handle a whole institute? How can we trust it? See, you have come here basically to study. So they see this as that is your prime responsibility. So if you were not able to study well, then how can we entrust the whole institute's duty upon you? And also, see, third year is a very crucial stage, third or fourth year. Third year, you have your CBCs. Yes, being a part of the council is a crucial stage. But beyond that, what will actually help you is your studies. That's how I would see points as. So, they didn't want them to burden up your academic related side. So, it is if you have a 7.5 CGPA, it will be easier for you to cope up with your academics later. Okay?
Yeah, that's a concept. The point is connecting you guys when you what we tell the admin what we think. So, listening that is necessary. Speaking is not necessary.
How many people? How many people think it's not necessary? We made a post because again the main question arises is why are you here for meeting? This is all extracurricular. You get your degree, that's the main. If you don't maintain a proper, a good decent CGPA, then you are willing to point of coming to the ready point.
Hello, I am Gokrishna from third year civil engineering department. My question is for that's first question. You suggested a few measures for increasing the security by installing cameras, checkposts, water walls, etc. But the basic security at the entrance gate is not up to the mark. See, any vehicle can enter into the campus and any person can enter into the campus. You can first elaborate what are the security things you want to implement, and can you tell us how much time it will be taking? And because promises are made easily, but implementation it takes time, and maybe it may not take place also. Can you elaborate about this? And second question is, you told that that common rooms will be provided, 10 to 20 lands, something.
Pardon, common rooms will be provided?
10 land.
Land actions,
Okay. See, from second year onwards, I am not no vehicle connections to my road, and I have room to opt he told that you wrote only 5 times, but I have read 20 times. And you told that, not only me, many people will go there. And also you told that now student council has taken a lot of measures regarding this welfare program. And you didn't touch a bit. But I have consulted Saxon sir, who is head of the CS department. He has promised me before them that in February total connections are being completed. But nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And okay, you take out that connection. Can you promise us if these things, nothing has been changed, these Wi-Fi connections are these Wi-Fi routers will be functioning properly? Not and the consistency of the Wi-Fi. See, the Wi-Fi problem will be fluctuating. You don't even get the Wi-Fi. It stays on and it will go on increasing and decreasing. And you are telling that project will be there and you will go to that. Who will take a laptop and go to that talking to man? Everybody can't say these are good things that we know.
Okay, coming to all the multiple questions, the first thing we said is that our campus gate itself has poor security. Actually, what happens is any vehicle which comes into campus has to sign. They have to register their vehicle number and where they are going. And once they go out, it will be taken away. So this vehicle number, so this vehicle, say this number, at this time it came in and this time it went out. Also, if any minivan or if any tempo or any truck comes inside campus, it is checked what it is bringing in. And when it's going out, they require a sign. Say, I'll give an example like when for Aave, we had food stalls coming in. So they can come in and they'll be checked. Okay, so this minivan for this food stall, it is bringing all these items. Now, once it has to go out, that requires a letter signed from Aave and from a faculty advisor stating that we called them in and it's our responsibility, and then it will be let out and it will be checked what it is taking out. If it is taking anything extra out, then they'll ask that why is this extra there. So that is one thing. Second thing is cameras already exist in the main gate, which is already monitored. So since our campus has a village behind, we cannot restrict the entry of people inside the campus and outside. We can only check who is going in and who is going out. And then about the cameras, the tender for 120 cameras has already been released, and I think it's already been passed. So since the current council worked towards getting cameras inside campus, this tender was released, and the work of the next council will be to see to that all these cameras are installed in the proper places, and the video feed is given to say to the main security office, to CSG, and probably to the council room, so that three of these places can monitor it at the same time. The other thing was LAN connections and Wi-Fi. Yes, definitely all of us require good, stable, consistent Wi-Fi connections in our rooms, and that is what and towards that only the current council has been working, where even PRAKASH spoke to Ramkanyan sir and so did I, and it was said that we are procuring more number of routers. The thing is, our college is a government college, everything needs to go by tender, everything needs to go by a process, and it does take time. All we need to do is we need to keep following up that when it will be done. Now, what latest I heard is that they've gotten a few number of routers and they're going to get the more routers by next semester ending. So all what we can do is we can keep going and we can keep following up with the concerned authorities as to when and where will these new routers be put up. And LAN connections, why it is required is because next year we will have to do work with internet, and the process of installing new routers will take time because they need to identify the exact places where to put the router so that there are no nodes due to interference. So during this process we will need internet connection, and even right now, people take their laptops and people move around inside. Going to the common room of your same floor for your own need as a temporary solution, I think it is possible.
That brings us to close to the crowdsourced questions. I hope you guys are satisfied with the number of questions you could ask the candidates. So, Harry, you will never be satisfied. Okay, so now we have questions from the panelists.
So, question for both of you. So you know that the budget allocation for the clubs will be done by the council and it's completely paid by the council members. There is a other issue for each club to get what amount. Right? So as a student president, either of you, what would be your preference? Would you support the technical clubs more and fund them more, or would you support the music, cultural clubs more? So what would be your plan? Because both of them have their own requirements. And our college being a technical college, so what would be your opinion on that?
There should be an equal importance for both cultural and technical as well. You know, like I have an example for this. Say, I know a famous personality. You know, she's from Texas and she's working as a Texas instrument in the Texas Instruments, and then she's a very good dancer as well. You know, I know this campus is totally based on like technology we need to build. Why do we come here? For the technology basis. And at the same point of view, if you take Festival, other clubs, they are bringing out international brand to our campus. So we need to actually focus on both, so that you know equal importance will be given, and based on the history of achievements also, the club budgets will be provided for both.
History of achievement again. Okay.
So, as Bhavik also said, that certain amount of money is given for club allocation. Not that we will, separate that this much has to go to technical and this much to cultural. It will be on their needs. The council is basically a body to represent the needs of the students. So, what each club requires, see, for a fact, PSI, I have a friend there and they say that they require this much amount of money. Every club has certain amount in their mind which they require for their next academic year. Now it is very difficult to satisfy all their needs. So we need to work on a compromise where the admin will give this much amount of money to each club. Also we can work towards supporting them in any other way. Agreed, we are National Center of Technology and need to focus on technical aspects, but it is not all of us, once we graduate, take up core jobs or take up jobs in the field of technology. So we need to build all our other facets as well. That is why it is not fair to focus more on either one, cultural or technical. It is to be given on their needs and on their expenditure from the previous years, how transparent that has been. Yeah, so basically on that.
Regarding the symposiums in the event semester, there are number of symposiums, like every department has their own symposium and event semester becomes quite packed. So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, can we have symposium, like I thought of discussing this problem, like symposium should be divided semester basis, like what I thought of. For even semester, like few symposiums, and then odd semester few symposiums, so that the schedule it won't be tightened up. And then I think we need to get some permissions. Like I don't know it, but once I step into the council, I definitely know it. I think this is my idea for that. I don't know how it works.
Currently, all the symposiums are there in the even semester. Firstly, we need to find out from all the departments why do they prefer the even semester and not the odd semester. Once we get that, then we can think about shifting a few symposiums to the odd semester. First, the problems need to be addressed as to why all departments want a symposium in their even semester. And then we can think about dividing symposiums as few in the odd and few in the even semester.
First of all, adding to his previous question, we talked about lot of innovation, as a NIT Trichy. So innovation mostly happens in technical clubs as of now. So when you say that you are going to give equal priority to cultural and technical things, so don't you think the innovation part is being neglected of? And most of the jobs you concentrate on, let's say the percentage of people taking career as cultural or entrepreneurship, it's almost same. It's very less people. So are you not being one-sided on this and you are neglecting innovation? How do you work on this?
Okay, so yes, technical innovation does happen only in technical clubs, but all the other clubs do work upon building us as an overall individual. And not everybody is interested or is capable enough technically to be a part of technical clubs. What has been happening, see now the budget allocation is done by the president, the TaskForce and the CulSec. These are the main people for the budget allocation. And it is the job of the three of them to maintain a balance between the requirements of everybody. Yes, innovation is done by the clubs, but as a campus, why do we depend on the clubs to do innovation? As I mentioned in the manifesto, let's approach industries to open their research labs in our campus so that students who are not part of such clubs, even they can work on projects and even they can innovate technically.
Extending the same point, like the club budget will be decided by a student president, technical secretary and cultural secretary. All the three of them, they say for example technical importance, everyone know, by all through discussion only will be something will be sorted out. The decision will be based on, while dividing these clubs, based on the club by having a meeting of all club heads and then other heads, and also based on the agenda what they proposed when they are forming a new club. Based on these agendas, I think the club budget will be decided by the panel members.
Do you think that symposium has become a source for weakest departmental listing? If yes, how do you tend to solve it?
Symposiums becoming a source for departments to use money from NITFest, that's what you're saying. Officially, since none of us have any records of how departments use the money given to them for symposiums, I'm afraid we cannot make a comment on that. So the money being used for NITFest or not, officially we cannot say anything on that. But what happens for anything else? People submit bills to the admin, and if that bill submission is properly scrutinized, then all the loopholes can be plugged in.
Yeah, same.
Daksh, in your manifesto, you have mentioned that you will be bringing some branded chains like Reliance Mall and stuff, right? And you know that we cannot directly approach some branded president or branded chain as such and ask them to put in. You know the content and the things.
Yes, sir.
Because we go through a tender process and all.
Yes, sir.
And adding to the point in this deferred placements, college is only responsible for the degree of the student, not the placement.
Agreed. Okay. Can I comment on both the points? The first point is getting a branded chain at campus. Definitely, we cannot approach any random manager and ask them to open up. It has to go to the EWC. So once the EWC passes the tender for a store inside the campus in say GMS, then we can approach such chains to fill the tender. What happens with chains like Reliance Mart, since they are branded and since they are huge chains with deep pockets, they can get to L1 or L2. They can pick the lowest bids because they have the pockets to support that. And when we bring in such branded chains in campus, what happens is they will maintain quality, like how CCD maintains quality because it is their brand which get affected. We we can't expect Gurnath to maintain quality and to have the same stock because they have no incentive to do so. But any other state will do it. Obviously, you won't approach them directly, we will go through the university tender process definitely. Second point, so they stated, I forgot the point. The second point, deferred placements, yeah. Campus does not guarantee placements, it only guarantees degree, agreed. But we can give an opportunity. Definitely, if somebody wants to opt for deferred placements, campus won't say we will get you placed. Campus will say, we can give you the opportunity. If you don't get placed, it is your responsibility. What happens now is if we pass CPCs, I think we are guaranteed that college will place you. Am I right in that sense?
Not true.
Okay, but that is the unofficial word which we got from our seniors.
Not true.
The statistic goes as such that if you clear your CPCs and you're a registered candidate, what will happen is that in the placement records of the department will show that you are placed or you're not placed. So the registered candidates will, or all the registered candidates placed, the department will share 100% of the department's placed. But as such, there is no responsibility from the college side or from the TNP side that we have to be replaced. Which is why I think the deferred placement thing is not a feasible solution.
Okay, so the college has an incentive there because the college wants to maintain official record of 100% placement. So the college has an incentive to get the students of past CPCs placed. But when it comes to the people of deferred placements, so for them, the college need not have their names as registered candidates. They can be as the candidates who haven't cleared CPCs also. So that will so there's no incentive to the college to get them placed. It is just an opportunity. And since you're saying that deferred placements definitely cannot happen, and it is very far-fetched for our campus point of view. Yes, I agree with you on that point that it's very, very far-fetched, but I think even the previous council tried, and even we can keep trying because it's very important. It is, at this age and time, it is very required to give the students that courage to start up. If not all year, probably next year, or probably the year after that. But we'll try to succeed.
Okay, this is not from the council, this is not from anywhere, this is from the outside viewership. Viewing the program happening right here, we have SoapBox for candidates contesting for the student general body, for the students council. Now, do you think, like in IIT Madras or IIT Bombay, all positions, all posts that are there in the council, state cultural secretary, technical secretary, alumni relations secretary, any hostel secretary for that matter also, they have elections happening on the same day everywhere in the common room. That's how it happens over there, but we have it in the and do you think that we should have cultural secretaries and technical secretaries also elected and contesting the elections? Or do you think that the current trend of selection is very different?
I do agree with your point, like cultural secretary and technical secretary should, no, I actually, like student president, he has to be, the concerns of the people should be known. So he has to be decided by the people through voting process. And technical secretary, most of the people, like they existing seniors, they know who the candidate is capable, which candidate is capable. In the same way, cultural secretary, those people will be knowing about the jobs, what they are going to do. But people will know about all the student president activities. So I think student president should be elected by people, and then cultural secretary and technical secretary as the base, as such, which is going inside the campus.
Cultural secretary and technical secretary are very niche positions. They handle a specific set of work, and that is very niche. So for that, it is better if the current system continues because their seniors who have worked with them, they know which person has the capabilities to carry out that niche set of responsibilities. But when it comes to the council caters to the entire fraternity at a large. So the council needs to be elected because the council is supposed to be the voice of the students. The council is supposed to be one with the students. Technical secretary and culture are not part of the council officially. So the people who are part of the council officially, they definitely need to be elected. But as PRAKASH said, TechSec and CulSec, they need not be elected because the people who work with them, they know which person is better for the post.
Hello. Yeah. Hi. So my question is for both of you. So one of you elected as president, you will obviously have the standards of work that every president has as responsible for the students. Now, both of you have made so many promises in your manifesto. You implement this, you implement that. Daksh even mentioned that it's been happening for quite a few years and the same points have been repeated. Now, there's a reason why it's not easy to implement everything every year. It takes time. Now, you have a small team in student council. It's not very big. It's very small family, and you have other groups to help you out. Now, in your opinion, which is you have 6-7 sections in each of your manifestos, right? Which is the one you prioritize the most? Don't say everything because I know that's not possible. You have your work and you have to choose something else. So which is the one you prioritize the most? Your first opinion, that's all.
Yes, the council is a small team. This year, the council has become bigger. We are 9 people. And so if work is effectively divided, work can be done, we can divide responsibilities, and that will multiply success. Coming to priorities, that's the main question. What will be our highest priority? So I'll just list a few things which will be the top of my priority. Top of my priority will be the things which we can start and finish in our tenure. We can do the groundwork for the others, we can start it off, but what I'll mention here is what we can start and finish in our own tenure right now. First thing is timely award student paid fund. That we can start and we can finish in our own tenure. Updated online e-book portal. That is not very difficult to start and finish also. Water problem, which is extremely urgent to be looked at, and probably the first thing which either of us will do if we come into council. Then student activity zones, as I mentioned in my speech, that also is very difficult to implement. Monthly council open interactions where people can come and review the council's work and question us. Then the app for which the buses and the cars are tracked.
This is again you're mentioning almost all your points.
No, I've just mentioned 5 or 6 of them, and this is the last one which I'm mentioning. And the app through which the buses and the cars can be tracked with the GPS tracker, which have already been bought in my knowledge.
Even while preparing my manifesto, the first priority what I thought of was what all points which I mentioned in my manifesto it can be done or it can be satisfied within 1 year tenure. I think whatever point I mentioned under sports reforms, sports complex should be opened on weekends. It can be possible like with some small discussions. And then water facilities, I already spoke, it can happen. I think all the points can be implemented within 1 year. According to you, prioritize the things which can be done.
How can you say that in this tenure you can do it because you don't have a prior experience working in this situation, working in these points. So how are you assuring that?
And if everything is possible in 1 year tenure, why haven't been done yet in all these years?
I'm just not asking the question. We are also a part of student council and we are also trying to bring a change. So it hasn't happened till now. There must be a reason, right? So how are you 100% assuring that this will happen in your tenure?
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with your point. I don't know what problems people are facing in admin because I didn't come into that position, right? So these points while preparing what we thought.
You didn't come into the position. How are you assuring that you can do it? That's
again, water. One point I'll take it as example and I'll tell. I mentioned a point, water facilities at all major sport grounds. I went to sports PD and then he told just one water purifier. This can be actually done. Just go to estate maintenance under Muthukumaran sir. I went and then I spoke to Muthukumaran sir and he told this can be done. In that way I thought every point and then I'm telling, I don't know, I don't have any prior experience as you told. I'll definitely try to work out at most anything.
Also, what definitely can be achieved this 1 year is we can build upon the work of the previous councils. Yes, the previous councils themselves would have laid the foundation of some of the things like cameras or like the GPS trackers for the buses. So that can easily be completed in our tenure. So these things you can assure it will happen because they've already laid the groundwork for them. In admin, what happens generally is the files move around very slowly from one department to the other, and that is what causes the most time delay. So we need to work on in a system where we can have the flow of information between departments quickly.
You were talking about the e-book portals, right? So how do you plan to go about it? And what is your plan of action?
Okay, one e-book portal already exists. Notes.edu already exists, and it has very few computer science textbooks updated. What can be done is we can talk to the Dean Academic Office. We can get 1 year distribution leases from the respective publishing houses, and we can upload these e-books in the e-book portal for all students to read. Can't obviously download, but we can read. So it is so we need to approach the publishing houses to get the 1 year distribution lease from them, so that it can be distributed at large for students.
To satisfy all the departments and all the subjects in each department, you understand how many books will it take. And to officially put it on a website of NIT.edu, it has to be authentic files. It cannot be the one you directly download. Those are not the authentic files. So you have to purchase this all and then upload it. Otherwise, anyone can file a case on you on NIT. So how do you plan to get that budget?
Yes, so
approach for that.
So as I mentioned, we will be getting official leases from the publishing houses to distribute the books on a mass scale. We are not downloading them and then uploading them illegally. So that will happen. And yes, you mentioned that there are so many departments and there are so many subjects. What happens now is most subjects have 2 or 3 reference books. Let us start with a few books, one basically per subject, and let us start that way, and then we can expand this portal as such. Let us start slowly.
Whom will you approach to get this done?
Okay, what I think is I'll first go to S.D. Ramesh sir, who's Assistant Dean of Academic, or to Jayapal sir, who's also Assistant Dean of Academic from production department itself, to get this kickstart.
So Daksh and Sai Prakash, question is to you. So I was just going through the MSRP presentation of how a council is, the student council is. In case you guys know, the Lindo committee that had come up with this entire proposition of student council for every institution under the MSRP. So the students council is under the hierarchy. We have the director, and then we have a couple of other. We have the board of governors, and then we have the director, and then we have a couple of other posts, and then we have the students council, the deans, and then the faculty advisors, if I'm not wrong. So my point is the students council, the deans, and the faculty advisors all come along the same line of hierarchy. Now the students council and the director communicate directly to each other, but how it works, how I think it works over here is we have a faculty advisor who represents us to the director. In case we have to make any proposition, we have to go take the sign of the faculty advisor and then have a meeting with the director. Do you think you should have a direct communication with the students council should report directly to the director instead of having intermediary faculty advisor in between, or should it work this way? What are the pros and cons?
Currently, the director any director of an institute as big as ours has a lot of responsibilities on their shoulders. So if we as council go to the director directly with all our propositions, she'll have to spend lot of time to discuss them with us and to see if they're feasible or not. She has a lot of other responsibilities as well. So having a faculty advisor who is understanding of the problems of the students at large, that helps us because that streamlines the process for the director ma'am herself. So we can discuss with the faculty advisor, then we can come to the conclusion which are the actual feasible important reforms which needs to be done, and then approach the director ma'am after that, because this will make the work of the director ma'am easier, and also it will make our work also easier, because to get an appointment to the director ma'am now is difficult. You will have a letter and everything that we want to meet you regarding this, get an appointment and all that. That will also take up more time. Yes, we are on the same horizontal level of make things move quicker?
Yeah, it is totally based on work which the director ma'am has. She has a lot of responsibilities, and then if there is some bridge between student council and then director ma'am, as you told, like she will be at least like the faculty advisor will be knowing what all things can be done, what all things cannot be done, what all things have the previous records. He'll be knowing everything, and then he will just consolidate our matter whether it is possible or not, and whatever points we have, like if it is possible through faculty advisor, if like it goes on through this process, it is fine. Like the current existing process is actually very good.
Don't you think a better process would be for the students also to shoot down their ideas themselves instead of having the faculty advisor tell them what is possible and not? Because you consider the director's time for this as exclusive, because you said director ma'am wouldn't have time for all this. Similarly would be the job of the faculty advisor as well. Even he wouldn't have time to meet the council and whatever it is. So we have 2 layers of time constraints that we have to go across whenever we have to propose an idea, right? So would it one level just be enough? And usually faculty advisors exist for clubs and all that just to, for budgets and to issue money for the club.
Okay, let me clarify. Any one of you will be the president of the students' council, elected president of the students' council, who will be representing 6,000 students in the campus, and you will be elected. So, as an elected member, isn't it your responsibility to directly address the issues or any news that we have regarding the school committee directly to the director instead of going through stages? Should you directly go, because you are a representative of 5,000, more than 5,000, actually, right now it's 5,900 crore, which is 6,000 students. I think that is the majority chunk of the part which director controls, apart from faculty and non-staff control and everything. I think 6,000 students constitute a larger proportion of NIT community. Question is proposed.
Contacting, I think the better solution for this, I don't know whether this is feasible or not, but then what the idea what I have is, like we'll be having many problems which students will be having through some hostel representatives. They will be addressing their problems to student council members, and then if it is better to list out all the problems, and then at least once in a month, if director ma'am is available, we'll be having frequent meeting sessions, and then tell all the problems at a time. And I think one more point strikes over here is whether these things, some of the points might be feasible, some might not. So I think faculty advisor, it is the best solution for this thing. I don't think directly meeting ma'am, like it needs time. She has a lot of responsibilities as such. I think the current procedure which is running is really good.
As you said, the council is the voice of the 6,000 students of campus. So if the students, then the council is their voice to the admin. Director ma'am and the faculty advisor are part of the admin. They are not different. They are part of the same institution, to which we will voice out the voice of the students. Going through this procedure, why it will help? Because as students, we tend to think that all this is feasible, all this is possible. Even the council will think that okay, all this is possible. But any faculty advisor who's been in this college for more than 15-20 years actually knows what is definitely possible and not possible. Second, it adds to the credibility of our voice. Suppose I have a sign of the faculty advisor, it is much easier for me to convince the director ma'am of the importance of this reform, because I've already convinced somebody else. And since the same faculty advisor will be a person who will be more understanding towards us, because yes, he have other work to do, he'll be busy also. I'm sure he won't be as busy as a director ma'am, because she has to handle the entire college. So we get to spend more time with the faculty advisor to convince him or her. Once him or her is convinced, their sign will add credibility to our voice with the director ma'am. That is what that is why the system is, as it's written, it is good.
say either one of you gets selected.
Pardon?
Either one of you gets elected as a president, and you happen to visit Duagur police station. So the inspector there asks you what's the situation of drug problems in your campus, and your roommate or your neighbor, you know, is a heavy smoker and abuses. So now, and you know the present situation in the college. So what will be your answer to that inspector there?
Yeah, I do definitely like it's a perspective of student whether he smokes or not. But then you know what I want to tell to the inspector is I'll definitely do go with yeah, some things are happening inside the campus without knowing to many of the people. But then like strict rules will be implemented to every student. I'll definitely work on the strict rules. And then I'll try to, I don't know people, like people who I know, and definitely try to at least stop them doing that, telling that this kind of incidents are going to happen in future. At least I'll make them aware these things will be happening. Either it is my friend or any other student, and definitely try to stop them addicting towards the drugs.
What will you marry? You are visiting a nearby police station. The inspector asks you what's the scene for drug abuse in NIT. What will be your answer to that question, assuming you already know the situation in the campus? I hope you do. Both of you.
Yeah, I'll answer to the inspector saying that we have separate team student welfare to handle all these kind of these situations, right? So I'll tell you.
Will you tell him that your NIT is clean of that and all, or something is going on or not? That is our question. We are not asking you who is responsible.
Okay, we come into campus as 17-year-olds, and here we get influenced very easily. Yes, smoking weed, it is illegal in the country, so it is not a choice. It's not like smoking or drinking, which is a choice. Smoking weed is illegal. So what happens is telling the inspector that yes, people are. Okay, quick answer review. Yes, obviously we tell them that our campus has its own issues with weed, because last year they caught 125 kg of weed in Guwahati, I think, and so we tell the inspector that it is the police's duty to nab all these suppliers and not the students. The students they are gullible and they buy, but it is the suppliers of this which are entrapping the students. So I will tell the inspector that yes, there is a problem in our campus, for which we are working, having counselors to get students de-addicted, and we are working towards that.
Basically, when you say you are having a problem at campus, the next day you know, police will come inside the campus with their team. They pick out the students, they beat them, they throw them out of college, they put them to anti-narcotics bureau and all. And next day you know, the Hindu, the Times of India, everybody has the headline saying 125 students instead of 125 kgs. 125 students of NIT are thrown out because of drug abuse.
Okay, the main reason behind the police personnel asking us this question is because he already knows the answer to it. They already know what is happening. That is why last time there was a raid outside the campus, 2 narco suppliers. So let's not underestimate that they do not know that what's happening inside campus. They are very well aware. If they are not doing it, because they know that their priority should lie in catching the suppliers and not the students. Students should not be caught. Students should not be caught. Students should be held.
Yeah. Maybe to map out the suppliers, we need to identify the students who are using it. So that way he will be able to map out them. So his main motivation is to identify suppliers, not to do anything to students. But then he come to college, he can do it doing the drugs and all.
he will obviously take them to police station, there will be a drama, after that he will be catched. But the reputation of NIT will go down after this incident.
Okay, let me ask you, what is more important, the college's reputation or a student's life? A student's life any day, you can't compare the reputation of college with the life of a student. And how are we thinking that the people outside do not know what's happening in our campus? It is a reality that almost every campus in the country has issues such as these. We need to work collectively just to resolve the issues. It is not that everything is black and white. We can't say that yes, police will come and then catch them. These are very subjective situations which need to be worked upon at that time. And lying to the police official that yes, nothing is there, he knows I'm lying. There, a college loses credibility and you
asking you to lie. I'm not.
Yeah, so you ask this or that.
I'm asking what you will.
Yeah, okay, I just told you what I will say.
Let's say you guys are either one of you is selected, okay? And both of you are traveling on a bike, they're going to the city. You don't have a helmet, you don't have a license. You go to the city, police officer catches you. You look for your wallet, you don't have any money. You only have your ID card, and one of you has a visiting card saying that you are the student president of NIT. What do you do? Will you show him that you are the student president and get away? Will you use the name of the NIT student president to get away from the situation? Or will you rather say, I'm sorry, I will do it?
Definitely, misusing the post of the president is the last thing either one of us would do. Both of us would definitely go and take the liberty and answering for him as well, because I'm sure both of us will not say that I'm the president of the council and you know to use that to let us off free. So if both of us are traveling on the bike next year and if both of us don't have our helmet or our license, we will face the consequences as any one of you would face if you do the same.
So, similar situation, but then like a more realistic one. For you guys to associate with.
Pardon?
For you guys associate with. So, you're in campus, you're student president. You will have one of your friends doing something that is not, or your batch doing something that is not allowed on the campus. Not illegal, but not allowed on campus. Say, for example, possession of a bike. Now, your batch is very quite vocal about having bikes in campus, even though it's not allowed. Now, confiscation of bikes is technically allowed by the college. Your friend has a bike, you're student president, what would you do?
Actually, yeah, I agree your point. The solution for this is like we will make the security guard so strict in such a way that club heads, I agree from student point of view, we need bikes, like club heads, we need some bikes, right? From student point of view, if those people who are having all these bikes, who use these bikes, let them get some authorization, let get some like identification.
His question is not just about bikes. His question, he's asking your friend is doing something which is not allowed, and as a student president, who like you are elected by your friend, will you support your friend or will you abide by the rules of the college?
I'll definitely go through the rules.
Basically, what he needs to ask is, you are legally allowed to print outside college.
Pardon? Legally allowed to?
You are legally allowed to print liquor outside college, but your friend is printing liquor inside college, and he gets caught. What do you do?
And he gets caught.
I'll definitely go through the rules.
So when the entire group which supported you is caught, you would encourage them, you would encourage the admin to...
I definitely... I definitely not indulge in such kind of like activities in future. If so...
know you were there and are drinking the hostel, would you push for them to get expelled from college, or would you try to protect them? That's all.
I'll definitely tell them, like, dude, these are the, like, I'll just suggest them. First warning, I'll definitely give to them. And then, second time, if they repeat the situation, I couldn't do being a student president, holding some responsibility, and definitely go through the rules.
Here again, we need to come to a compromise. We cannot get them expelled from college for drinking inside college premises. Yeah, so, yes, they need to be warned by the government that you need to control your vices. So that will happen. But definitely, we will not misuse our powers to shield only our friends.
Okay, this is giving into addiction, alright? But let's say, all of us when we join college, we have given an undertaking form saying that we will not possess 2-wheelers or 3-wheelers inside, 2-wheelers or 4-wheelers inside campus. Now that is a document that the administration has with them. Okay, and you are clearly violating in front of your eyes that you have a possession of a bike. And it says that you are subjected to action by the administration. Okay, now what would you do in that case?
Coming to the issue of bikes, as I pointed out. So there's a friend of mine from my department, from my year, who has gotten a bike pass for himself. Because he requires the bike pass because he goes around campus to catch snakes and other animals. So he spoke to the DAKSH and they understood the need why he requires a bike and they gave him the pass. So he's legally allowed to use a bike in campus. The council also, I believe, is allowed to use a bike in campus. Anybody else who thinks that their reason is proper and is justified that they need to use the bike, they can come to the council, they can go to the DSW and they can have a talk, where an application, and the DSW feels that yes, their reason is legit and their reason is proper, where they need to use a bike, they can give them a pass. Let's make it legal instead of people having bikes illegally in campus. But most of the students use bikes now because the intra-campus transport system is not very good. Since this year, we bought 5 electric cars and there were 4 other buses inside campus. If that system itself can systemize properly next year, where there won't be a need for students to use bikes. That is what we are looking to, where students don't feel the need to use a bike. Where they have a bus to go because an IIT-M and IIT-D, students don't need bikes. It is a very well organized intra-campus transport. That's what we are looking at. But if somebody else genuinely requires a bike, they can go through a procedure, get a permission, get a pass, and we'll see.
I can ask. I have a question to you. If a team makes a mistake, it's a responsibility of head too, right? Completely. You are the chairperson for AVIC.
Yes.
You know what happened regarding the AVIC scam I'm talking about, which just got proved by a team.
Okay.
Let me under your you are the chairperson. For this small thing, you are, like, this thing has happened. How can people believe like you can hold this kind of big responsibility?
Okay, let me explain to you what is the misconception there. So, AVIC code under me as I was chairperson was formed in August 2015. Okay, in February 1st week of 2016, AVIC was over. We formed the new code, and that was functional since August 2016. This scam was the AVIC scam. This scam, whatever you are talking about, was done by an individual in his individual capacity using no AVIC resources, using no AVIC juniors, using nothing. It was this individual thing which happened in the month of August 2016, where my core their term was over in the month of February end of 2016 itself.
Next selecting core will be also in your hands.
Yeah, so next core didn't do anything. The next core chairperson was Azir. He was here. The next core was
becoming more personal.
No sir, let me answer because this is very important. Because many students have a misconception, but I can proudly state that not one single paisa given to us by the government for AVIC was unaccounted for, was misused in any way. We have the file. We have all the files. Rajesh from my department, who is in your hostel, was the AVIC treasurer. I invite you, let's go together to his room, look at the file. You will see that not one bill has been manipulated, not one paisa is not accounted for. So what we're talking about is done by an individual in his capacity using his friends. That is not at all associated with Aave, which was under my chairmanship or the juniors in any way whatsoever.
Not going personal towards Aave.
Definitely personal. But this was a doubt which you had, and I'm glad you asked.
Just had this doubt and not going to business.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. Thank you very much for asking.
Now one of you becomes the student president. Now it's not about team or something, it's all about individuals. So these kind of scams might happen. How do you plan to curb this?
It might not be just happening under your team, but it might be happening in some other team as well. So as a student president, how would you
know all the community of NIT Trichy? So how do you plan to stop these kind of activities? Now you are responsible to whole NIT.
The scam thing, right? Regarding that scams, what I can do is like club heads or being a student president, he has to know what budget has been allotted to the club, how much they are utilizing.
Who will be
I'll be allocating the budget. How much is going for what? How much is going for how much they are utilizing it based on the proper bills, and then we'll definitely sort out if there is any small thing also, if there is any kind of mistake through some president portals, then there will be some other people who will be genuinely frank. They will be informing everything, and based on that strict actions will be taken to the people who are undergoing this kind of scams.
Honesty is something which is very important for any club head or like any of us here. So to curtail these scams or this money being unaccounted for, first what needs to be done is the bills which are being submitted, they have to be properly scrutinized. They have to be scrutinized in a way that so that we know that okay, these bills have been manipulated and where is this money gone. So since we as a council will be having a budget allocation, that allocation needs to be done properly on the needs of the club and not on what they are asking. So once that is done, second step would be to properly scrutinize all the bills which are submitted. Then we can find where the loophole is and where the money is.
Who should do the scrutinization?
Currently, the bills are submitted to the bills department in the
system you are proposing. Everything has to be properly scrutinized, and you know how many clubs are there and how many fests are there. So scrutinizing each bill. So what do you propose? How it has to be done?
Okay, one idea can be the college can have registered shops, like say almost, this is again with experience of Aave, any fest requires to get AV and sound, which has to be brought from outside, which requires a big amount of money. Food stalls and the connection there, lighting requires a big amount of money. So all the high expenditure bills, the college can recognize a few shops that all of you can go to, say, shop A, B, C, D, E, F for any high expenditure bills. So there we will curtail any shop which we as students can approach, and the college can understand with the shop that bills have been made properly and all that. So that's the first step. Second step is the council can aid when it comes to bill scrutiny.
Bill scrutiny, I think I have one more idea for this. Through faculty, like I know every student council, he can't scrutinize all the bills which will be provided from different clubs. But there will be one faculty advisor for every club, and then we'll make the process like student council and faculty advisor frequent meeting sessions, saying that all the bills and regarding all the budget which will be provided to the corresponding club, will make the process strict so the faculty advisor can actually take actions and he can actually stop doing all these things, all the scams which are happening there.
Before going further, I would just like to clarify the audience why we are taking this much time for the presentation debate. Because whenever you go outside the college, whenever you go in front of the other admin, student council is also admin. But whenever you go to other departments of the admin, president is the face of all the students and of all the council. So that's why we are having this debate, so you cast the vote properly for at least the president. I hope you do that for other candidates as well, but at least I hope you do that for the president. Also, what you said, faculty advisor, that is actually the reason why we have faculty advisor. The money is never transferred to any student's account because you will leave the college after 4 or 5 years. But the faculty advisor or the faculty will be here in the college. So he has to be accountable for all the money he gets into his account. So generally the students approach the faculty advisor, and if the faculty advisor is willing to become, the faculty is willing to become the advisor for that club, then only they can give the money to their account. It's not that I just say, okay, I want to get my faculty advisor. So he first needs to approve that, okay, I need faculty advisor for my club. So that's how it goes.
So, in your manifesto, Prakash, you have mentioned extension of the breakfast timings to 10:30, right? Don't you think that would take up more time, so that would end up having less time for them to prepare for the lunch?
Yeah, they have, like, mess consists of a lot of number of people, right? Like, say for example, a mess like 7:30 to 10, like people who need in that time will be, say for example, some 5 or 6 people will be serving, and then at this 10:30 to 10 to 10:30 time, if you make one guy to stand over there, the rest to do the work, and then the work, I don't think the work affects that much over here.
And about the digitalization of academic documents, when someone asks you a question, you said you spoke to your HOD and he directly rejected the idea or something, you said like that, right? I would like to give a clarification on that. We, our current Dean Academics Office is working on digitalization of all the academic documents such as transcripts, pages, etc. They are coming under the initiative of SAI, and we are trying to get associated with some of online repositories such as NAD and all. And that's why we planned some Aadhaar drives also, so that I can be linked to our Aadhaar account, so that once you pass out, you enter your Aadhaar ID and access all your documents. So it's not something, it's slightly rejected, it's seriously being considered and it's happening.
Yeah.
You should have approached the right person to ask about it. And both of you have mentioned a lot of things in your manifestos which include a lot of purchases, because many of you said there is fully furnished common rooms and vending machines and a lot more other things. So I hope you know the process being involved in getting some new procurement and all. So I want to ask you your opinions on what knowledge you have on the budget, how you get for all these things. You have proposed a lot of things which need purchase, right?
Yeah.
Lot of things, like periods, board, and furniture in the common room, and land connections, and what else? So many procurements were mentioned in both of your manifestos. So I would like to know if you have any idea about where the budget comes from and how it flows through, and what will be the criteria for allocation and all. I just wanted to know your opinions or your knowledge.
Yeah, like before preparing this manifesto, I do have some information about this club funding. I don't know, like, 95 to 99 lakhs.
I'm not talking about the club funding,
Yeah,
I'm talking about the other facilities procurement.
Yeah.
Club funding is something different.
Let's say you'll have to buy a villa table. Where will you get the funds from and who will you approach to get this done? So like that for everything, do you have enough knowledge on this? That is our question.
Yeah. As mentioned in my manifesto, I think like except the billiards table, other things like book fair at the start of every semester, we did not put any budget for that, and temporary faculty review system. Like none of this we need to put some budget from the institute point of view. Like only few points, like introducing the billiards table in sports centers and then concrete benches.
You're talking about book fair a lot. So this time the council initiative was NIT card. Do you know about that?
Card. Yeah, I know.
So
but
why do you need another book fair?
Yeah, that was only for first years, and then being a third year, even I'm going to study like 7th semester, I can't find books over there. Making it on a large scale will be very useful for the whole campus.
Extending NIT card to all years would do, right? Yeah, this year it is F5.
Yeah, we'll make it on a large scale, like whatever books, like few books which I personally faced, I went to the mart and then I didn't get, so that
that's the thing I'm telling you, NIT card is for that.
Yeah, not only regarding academics, we'll make it, like, we'll extend the facility. All the books will be provided in that book fair which we are going to make it on large scale. So that it will be very useful for the students. We'll make it on large scale. Coming to the...
Back to the previous explanation which you are giving on the budget.
Yeah, budget. In my manifesto, as mentioned, concrete benches across 40 grounds, and then water facility at major sports grounds, and then only these things. I think we need some budget from the campus, and then construction of a bus stop, like a shelter, at least near Amber. Other than this, I don't find anything like we can have some budget through from the campus. We need some smart way of discussion.
First thing is, he is not asking whether you need budget or not. He also depends on when you ask for budget. He is asking from where will you get the budget. Second question is,
planning and development.
Second question is, again that's a broad line. Second question is, you don't even have a bus stop near Amber. Now I tell you, not only Amber, let's say, as a president, your job is to have a bus stop in front of all the offices if you are having. My question is, I have noticed that we, as a council member, I was there when we prepared this schedule for all the bus timing. So let's say you have a 10:30 class. What happens is all my friends will call me at 10:15 or 10:20 and ask me, why is the bus not here? Point is, bus will start, bus will go in a circle. It will start from admin, it will go all the way to SC, it will come to Zircon, it will go to Amber, it will go to Arnett, it will go back to Orion, back to admin. So this ferry takes a long time. It's not just that bus will come in front of Zircon Hospital at 10:25 and drop me in front of Orion because there's only one bus. So for that, let's say I have to reach the Zircon gate at 10:10 for me to reach Orion at 10:30. Now when the bus arrives, the bus will wait there for 5 minutes and the driver will continuously honk a horn. That's when the people will start coming out. So you don't need to wait outside the hostel, you can wait inside your hostel. As soon as you hear the horn, you can come out. That is the solution. Instead of building a bus stop. Coming back to the budget question.
Building the bus stop, I mean like
building a shade, not a bus stop. Shade.
Yeah. And regarding this, I have a small suggestion. I don't know whether this is applicable. Like we have 4 number of buses currently, right? Like why do we need to utilize only one bus throughout the campus? One bus throughout the campus, and through per place there are many number of ways through RT hostels, and then we can use the number of frequency of buses we can increase so that it will go around, right? If we want to go to sports complex, there is no bus available.
Only 2 buses are operational.
Only 2?
At any time, maximum there are 3 buses which are operational, not 2.
We can use 3 and we can increase the frequency, right?
One bus goes to the city because we have children studying inside the campus, we have staff, children, family members. So one bus goes there. Second bus also goes there in the morning and evening. So we have 2 or 3 buses for which we go around the major routes where majority of the crowd will be there. Because if you have a big bus wasting so much fuel for a route where there will be 8 people, it's not feasible. For that we have shuttle car now. That was a problem earlier. That's why we introduced the method of shuttle cars. Shuttle cars travel through the internal routes. It's not only through the external route. Shuttle car will travel in the internal route.
I know one thing, like current student council, like is there any chance of increasing the number of buses or number of ferry cars? Like are you guys working on, like I don't know, I want to just get it.
You tell me where do we get the buses?
Coming to the budget part of the question, where will we get the money from? Our college in the college allocation of budget, there is something called the planned fund and the non-planned fund. This unplanned fund is where we get the money from for all these expenditures. I have mentioned getting land connections in hostels and getting floodlights for the NSO ground. So all these expenditures which are required, that money will come from the unplanned fund. The planned fund caters to all the salaries and all the expenditure happens every year. Then the money which is not spent every year, that comes from the unplanned fund, which we get from the government of India, and that depends on how much we use. Say I have used this much unplanned fund. Say the current council has used this much unplanned fund. Then they will next year they will give money with relation to that. So if we use lesser amount of money, they'll give us lesser amount of money in the next year. So this unplanned fund we can use for all of this. Coming to the buses part, what happens now is, say I want to come from Amber to Orion at 8:30. There's a probability bus will come or not come, I don't know. Though there is a schedule, I don't know what time the bus will come or even will it come. So for that, we need to make an app where we can see the exact timings of these buses. So if you have bus stops, then each bus stops at the bus.
You'll have GPS tracking.
Yeah, GPS tracking system.
Where will you get the money for GPS?
I think the GPS trackers have already been purchased if I'm not wrong. Okay, if they haven't been purchased, then again from the unplanned fund because it's just a one-time expenditure.
I think you can contact the transport office directly. They can get it from the unplanned. You just have to request them.
Okay, thank you for the suggestion. We'll do that.
During September, Canadians was the director exam. So that time we had it out and we had two or three exams. He told why, and council proposed it also, but we didn't follow properly. So, what do you think? Will it be good if we ask the college for permanent audio video system for all the events which are happening in the campus? Like for September, the speakers which we have inside the Gone Hall and the Robin now are very less in quantity. We need more speakers, we need more audio and video system. So do you think it's better if we have it, if we purchase them all in one go instead of leasing them for each event every year? What do you think?
Our college has three major fests, PRAKASH, Festival and Fest, and these three major fests require this extensive AV. What happens is if at the council say if we buy all the yes, as part of AV does not need the kind of AV which the top three fests require. AV needs, we spend in my year 12,000 rupees on AV. Festival alone, only for the OAT, for the pro shows, they spend much more than that. Much more than that. So it's not right comparison because AV does not need that much. But the top three fests do require very sophisticated AV, and if the college buys, it will be used 3 times a year. Rest of the time it will not be used. Still it has to be maintained and it has to be stored. That huge capital gets blocked. So we block the money when we buy this, when the money can be used somewhere else. If we buy it and we keep it, they have to maintain it, they have to store it to use 3 times a year. So I don't see the ROI of buying such sophisticated AV, because even if leasing for 3 days costs so much, I can't imagine the cost for buying the entire equipment, how much it will be.
Yeah, it's all in the, it depends on cash only again. This thing, what I want to tell is, from club point of view, there are, as you told, Festival, Pragyan, NIT Fest, they actually need much more better audio visuals compared to the small events like Horizons and Awake. And I think it all matters with cost. I don't know, I really don't know about this audio visuals. I'll definitely get to know about it, and I'll definitely try to solve these problems based on some discussions.
So, before you get into detail, now the problem is, best have a limited budget. Isn't it better if the college provides them with these facilities, they can save on that budget?
Come again? Isn't it better if the college?
Best have a limited budget. Isn't it better if the college provides them with these facilities so they can save on the money which they spend on these things?
Okay, this is again a give and take. So if the college has to procure this sophisticated AV system to be used thrice a year and to be maintained the entire year for years to come, so that is a thing, that's a con, and the pro is that the college will provide it to all the fests, and the fests don't need to spend so much money on it.
Because as a representative of students, September and KHANTER means will come to you saying that we don't have a budget, we have a limited budget, and it would be good if we do that.
What we can do is, we can purchase that equipment which is used more frequently, not only by the top 3 fests, but by the other, by Horizons, by Aave, and by Nostalgia, and by such events. So, say a festival requires these many number of lights and speakers and sound and this quality of the same. We can procure the ones which are used more frequently. So festival does not need to release them when the time comes. But the equipment which only these top 3 require and nobody else requires, that can be released. The other equipment which all the other, because as Aave, we also had to get from outside. So if all the small events in campus, even they require, and if we can have a subset of the entire sophisticated AV system bought by the campus and used by the campus throughout the year, and the other part of it can be released by the respective fests. So again, a compromise. That's what we have to look at.
A small rapid fire.
How many number of beats are there?
6.
Why is guest house not online? Guest house booking is not online. Yeah,
I do not know why it's not online.
PRAKASH, who is Dean Academy?
AV Reddy, sir.
It is not
Dean Academy. Good luck.
Stated to
Sorry, since the answer. Sorry.
Hospital comes under which team, Daksh?
It is under Gomti Nayan, sir.
That's actually wrong. I asked, it was under Gomti Nayan, sir. Hospital comes under which dean, I asked you. There are 6 deans, right?
Position.
Okay. I think it is Institute Development.
Okay, a question for both of you. Whom to approach for what? Planning and development, institute development teams.
Funding issues, any other thing to be constructed, planning and development, and institute development to be approached for any guest house bookings, all these things and all, and hospital things.
I'm talking about deans.
Deans, you're telling about
who will you approach at what situation? Like you want, why will you go to a dean institute and development? Why will you go to a dean planning and development? That is my question. Did you get it right?
Okay. For example, if I want to book a hall, I'll go to Dean IT's office. So are you asking like that?
Yeah, more specific. More than just yes or
okay, more specific. If you can get examples of what you are wanting, then we can say, because we don't know how specific an answer you want.
Other than hall bookings.
Okay. If you want to install like volleyball court, right? We need to go to institute development for all these equipment things, we need to go through institute developments, and he gives suggestions to estate maintenance office, and through that the things will get implemented. And then planning issues, how much budget to be evaluated. For the things, planning and development team will be approached.
So we come to an end. I'll ask one last question to both of you. If you lose, what's the plan for you?
If I lose, I'll definitely, like for the past 7 to 8 days, have been.
Find it and speed record it. It will be put on Facebook. People will ask you the same question at the end of the year.
Yeah. I already said, if I lose, I collected all these points. I went to each and every room, and then I distributed every slip, and then I got all these problems, all this manifesto which is not prepared based on personally. I collected from all the people's made manifesto. So even if I lose also, I'll definitely request the winning either any one of us to consider the manifesto points, and not only these basic common problems which I have prepared in this from all the students of the Amber students especially. I do request the winning candidate to consider all these things. Even if I win also, I'll definitely consider the others.
Okay. Yes, both of our manifestos are not our manifestos. They're just a collection of the points which we have collected from all the students. I had met SAI 4-5 days ago, and I told him, see, one of us will lose the election, but let both of us gain a friend in each other. So I have seen. How Kavik and Ellen have worked together, and I would definitely want to work. If I lose, I would see both of us are here because both of us have a vision for the campus. Both of us want to do something for the campus. So even if I lose, I'll be there with SAI always for the betterment. I'll be there to help, basically. And he has a manifesto, I have a manifesto. Points are there are similar points, there are different points. We will work towards implementing all the visible points from both the manifestos and from all the manifestos which will be presented today. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, vote of thanks. Thank you everyone for coming down to share these elections on April 6th. It will be held in Orion, and the poster will come out of that as well. And please do make sure that just like how every one problem matters to you, every one of your vote matters to them. And they are your candidates, so please do come and make a